in my computer. I used up
Right.
all 500 gigabytes because
Damn.
I'm a gamer at night. So that's what I do. Well, welcome back, guys, to another rendition of the Insurance Panel. Now you know I play video games at night. Nick, what do you do for fun except for work? Get on Facebook and argue with people.
Mostly get on Facebook and argue with people.
That's good stuff, man. How you doing?
Mostly what I do. I'm doing okay. It's like day 57 of the quarantine or something like that.
Yeah.
It's been an exciting ride.
Yeah, I just had to take a 3-day trip
Hmm?
to the home office, not because I needed to. Well, I did need to. I love my wife, but after 3 or 4 weeks, in the same house, me and her both agreed. She was like, "You got to go. You got to go." And now I made it back, and I'm very excited to see her. But I was just in the home office, and we have this kind of little telesales thing inside the home office,
Mhm.
and telesales stuff, man.
Yeah,
I jumped on there.
no joke.
They were doing some inbound stuff, and I was like, "Why not try to outbound?" They're like, "You want to give it a shot?" I was like, "Let's run it, bro." So I loaded up a bunch of leads, and had this power dial running, and over the day I talked to 9 people.
Mhm.
3 of which really didn't get that far.
Mhm.
The other 6, I got all the way. 2 of them were AI. They couldn't afford it because it was too high, and there was an 85-year-old lady, or an 85-year-old man trying to get coverage for his wife with Alzheimer's, and he was even given those those pre-objections of hey, I don't even know why you're talking to me. I can't get coverage, but I'm trying to. And I'm like, what did you just say?
Right.
You want it, but you don't. I was like, yeah, you definitely want it. He's like, yeah, but I probably can't afford it. I'm like, what can't you afford? He's like, I don't know. You haven't told me anything. I'm like, all right, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go through this whole presentation. Then I'm going to tell you how much it costs. And he was like, well, I don't know if you should take the time. I'm like, well, while I have you here, I'm going to go ahead and go through that. He's like, okay. I get all the way through, and it's still, for $5,000 in coverage was like $120 a month. And he was like, I can't afford that. I'm like, cool. Do you have any savings? He's like, no. I was like, are you going to go to a funeral home and do a pre-plan? Cause they're going to want, $200, $300 a month. I don't have money for that.
What you gonna do?
Looks like I got the best option, bro.
Yeah.
But it's a tough thing.
It is.
It really is.
No, it's the telesales is sort of brutal. And again, so much respect to the people who do that regularly, all the time by choice. Because there are people who love it. And it's not just guys like Ramiz, but there's people out there who really prefer working this way, and I don't get it, but it's definitely doable. It's something that can be done. So the governor of the state of Pennsylvania gave an update not too long ago today, within the last couple of hours, and we are still, where I live in the Philadelphia area, considered a red zone, which means I am still prohibited from face-to-face insurance activities, basically in any county that I work in.
Wow.
So there are some counties that I would be able to go to and work, but I would need to stay in a hotel because they're that far away. And I don't think hotels are allowed to operate at the moment, although I haven't looked into that. So who knows?
Double-edged sword. Yeah. But do you think when it opens up in your area, because I know there is quite a few face-to-face operations that do final expense in your area, do you think it's going to be a madhouse race to the finish line to the clients? You know what I mean?
I think so.
Or you think it's just going to kind of be business as usual when it's all over? Or you think it's just going to be a flood of agents?
It's hard to say how many agents are going to be flooding out. I know a bunch of agents who are starting to go back out to business as normal type of things. I know people at the IMO that I work with are putting up crazy numbers for the beginning of the week. It's a Thursday while we're recording this, so it's actually for for me, it's the end of my week. But let me see. Like, I mean, guys are going back out and putting up like serious real numbers, considering everything that's been going on, and are reporting back that like they're not having any issues getting people to meet with them. They go out and they set their appointments like normal. If they need to
Yep.
door knock, they door knock like normal. And
Yep.
for them, everything is just kind of back to normal, except that people really, really want to talk to them.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of it's kind of like a reality check, and the best or the worst way to say it is like it's going to help you make more sales.
It probably is. I mean, and even
without even having to say anything, it'll just help you.
Yeah, yeah, it's going to be. It's probably going to be very good for most people. Is the reality. It sucks, but we're in a business that benefits from bad economies and anxiety.
But do you think that's going to be a bad thing? Because here's the negative side to people making a crap ton of money really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And we talk about this all the time. Agents don't budget properly.
Oh yeah, well that's true.
And
especially new agents.
Yes, well, and they're going to go out and they're going to, got to finally get the Rolex that I never got before, or I got to get that brand new car, or they're going to go show it off to their friends, and they're going to try to recruit when they just had a big a stroke of luck, COVID-19 is a stroke of luck. Right. That's going to help them close more deals, or it may not, who knows? But if it does, I fear the ramifications of the negative things that come after that. And so if you're somebody's manager and before COVID-19, they were a $700, $1,200 a week producer, now all of a sudden they're crushing $5K, you got to manage that person and help them understand their finances, because they can get in trouble.
Well, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, and I can definitely see that. Like, you need to every agent should have a plan financially in place, on how to manage their money. I mean, there's a whole bunch of pitfalls that we run into as independent contractors.
Sure.
Like, it's not even just an insurance agent thing. Like, it's an independent contracting thing. Like, you've got to be able to put money aside for chargebacks and for taxes and for business expenses. Your car is you're gonna wear and tear on your car, or maybe you get a flat someday and you still need to go out and see people, or like you need to buy postage and office supplies, and like you gotta
it's a business.
You gotta have money set aside.
Yeah, I'll give you a perfect example. My younger brother got his first chargeback, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he called me. He was like, "Matt, my check was $700 less than I was accounting for." And I'm like, "Well, what was it?" He's like, "That one guy that never paid." I'm like, "Well, that's the chargeback. That's what I've been telling you about." He goes, "Well, I've got money in this chargeback account that you told me to label chargeback account, and I put aside the money you put aside." I said, "How much is in that account?" He's like, $1,200. I was like,
"There you go. Take $700 out of it."
Yeah, you're clear. And he's like, "Oh, okay."
Move $700. Move $700 out of that account.
Exactly.
And then go write more business.
Yes.
Right.
Preferably with that company.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of things that a lot of agents are not taught. They're just taught to transact and sell, and they're not taught about the negative things about this business and to be prepared for. And I think it's super serious and it's really simple, but they're not taught.
No, well, because it's not this. I mean, that's not sexy. Like, that's not. You can't recruit off of, "Hey, why don't you save?" That's not it's not a great recruiting line.
Sure.
And I mean, and the reality is, the people that are doing the recruiting most of the time don't know either. It is rare to find someone who has been in this business a long time and is also still also still working and writing business, who is also recruiting. You usually find that people who are going out and writing business on their own pen, who are also recruiting, are typically people who are very new to the business and have been sold the dream of building a team,
Mm-hmm.
or the people that are recruiting are people who are making their living off of their team and are not really writing business very much.
And that's scary.
Right. I mean, and that's just reality. That's the nature of our business. Like, you get a lot of professional marketers and recruiters, agency owners,
Mm-hmm.
and I do get it to an extent. It's hard to run an agency. It's hard to run an IMO. It's hard to do all of that stuff and also take time to write. It's all, you've got to spend time with your agents, right?
There comes a point where it's almost more detrimental to your agency if you do write versus having like, because if you've got a bunch of new agents that are all calling you from each house that they go in because you instruct them to do that, but you're writing your own business and they can't call you,
right?
There might be 5 sales that are missed because you weren't able to assist them in that, and it's actually more detrimental to your agency long term. But it actually takes longer than people expect. The recruiters are sold the dream: go find 10 people, teach them how to do $10,000 a month, and make a $7,500 override,
right?
With a 10%, 10% override with a 75% advance. That's the dream sell, right?
Yeah.
But the problem is, not every agent's doing $10,000 a month.
Well, I mean, and that's why you don't see people who are not green talking about that. Like, seriously, if you go out looking at experienced agents, that's not the type of thing that they're talking about and doing. There are experienced agents who start to build, but they don't go out and like blanket recruit the way that new guys do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they don't, or the way that frankly professional recruiters do. Like, and again, nothing wrong with being a professional recruiter. When you get to a certain size of an agency, you need to have somebody who's focused on recruiting, like, and who is going to be your marketer. Every IMO and agency that is more than just a handful of people, and frankly, if it's just a handful of people, like, it's not even really an agency.
Right.
But they all have somebody whose job is full time to be bringing people in and handling contracts and doing. I mean, all of them.
Mm-hmm.
It is very difficult to do all of that stuff and have that not be your full time job.
Mm-hmm.
It's if you've got more than like 5 or 6 agents, it's just there's too much stuff to do. So I don't know. I don't know where we're going with this, but there's a reason why you don't see anybody but brand new agents doing that. Like, when you're on Facebook or you're on a message board or at a convention or something, and you see somebody like, hey, I'm hiring, we're doing all this stuff, let's come on board, I've got opportunities. Almost 100% guarantee they've been in the business less than 2 years.
Yeah.
Like, almost 100% guarantee.
I talked to an agent today while I was on my way back. I had to stop by the grocery store, but he was talking to me and he was like, yeah, man. He's like, let me ask something real quick. What's your thoughts on like recruiting when you're new? I was like, don't do it.
Yeah.
He's like, good. He goes, I actually got referred to you by somebody because he knew you would say that. You know what I mean? But he interviewed 4 places, every single one of them, and they're very well known IMOs.
Mm-hmm.
They immediately started talking about building a team from day one.
Mm-hmm.
And then I said, did they tell you about roll-up debt? And they said, no, but I kind of get it. I said, explain to me what it is. And he said, well, if they charge back, then you get the chargebacks from the override. I said, no, roll-up debt's way different. And I explained it to him, 10 agents, $10,000 a month, but one agent is a bad agent and it wipes all your profits away.
Yeah. One agent decides to, true story, didn't happen to me, happened to somebody that I know, true story. One agent realizes that he's going to be going out of business and takes an e-app that does not require any kind of physical signature and takes his entire book of business of everybody that he's written thus far, where he already had all their billing information and everything, and just wrote, and this particular company pays on submission, and pays fairly large commissions and advances 75%. And so he wrote like 40 e-apps with this one company over the course of about 2 weeks, and then declared bankruptcy and walked away. I mean, the guy was stupid. He didn't realize that what he was doing was a criminal activity. He did go through and free look all of those policies before. So like an account, like no charge ever hit any of those people's accounts. So he figured what he was doing was, I guess, okay. I don't know. It's still insurance fraud. But I want to say it was like $30,000 or $35,000 worth of debt that rolled up to my friend. Yeah. And
probably seemed like a good guy.
Yeah.
Just talking to him.
Yeah. You know, and when my friend confronted the guy, the agent said, well, shoot, if I had known that was going to happen to you, I wouldn't have done it.
Who do you think?
Yeah. Right. Which is the craziest part of all of this. You know, I might be getting some of the details wrong because this is not, again, didn't happen.
Yeah,
but that's the basic idea. And I mean, this is somebody that I know pretty well. Has had basically this thing happen to him. And it was a guy that he thought he knew, that seemed like a good guy, that just
guaranteed that's going to be an issue. Speaking of guaranteed issue, there's a new. I just wanted to do it that way.
Oh man,
I haven't done one of those in a long time. That was good.
That is a hell of a segue, Matt.
Yeah, dude.
That's a hell of a segue.
Speaking of guaranteed issue, new product. On the market.
Guaranteed
Pretty
Trust
slick.
Life.
Yeah. Say it. What's the name of them again?
Guaranteed Trust Life.
Guaranteed Trust Life.
GTL.
For those that are Jersey Shore fans, Gym Tan Laundry. Tell us what you know about them. I think they're pretty slick. I think it's gonna be a really cool guaranteed issue product. I mean, it's not guaranteed issue, but close enough.
No, it's a super slick product. Let me see. While we're talking, I'm going to see if I can't pull up the underwriting guide, because it's really simple underwriting guide, and I can maybe do a screen share. That'll kind of show off just how slick this product is. It is a guarantee. It's a near guaranteed issue product.
Yeah,
it's not actually guaranteed issue, but it is 1 year return of premium, and then in year 2, 50%, I believe. Mm-hmm. I believe it's 50%
of the death benefit.
Of the death benefit. And then in year 3, it's the full death benefit, which is on its own right there, like pretty awesome.
Yeah.
For everything that it takes. It's not a 2-year return of premium. If you are not, they take, they don't do MIB or RX checks. So it will be, if they die in the 2-year contestability period, it will be contested, like in a pretty serious way. So just be aware of that. But underwriting guides and forms. All right, let's see if I can. There we go. But they take dang near everything. All right, I'm gonna do this screen share. So we planned literally nothing for this conversation here, guys. We basically just said, hey, we want to put up another video.
We want to keep doing content.
We feel like we should put up another video for Friday, and we don't particularly have anything to talk about, so this is not prepared whatsoever.
This is cool.
But this is the plan. Pull that out. There we go. All right. So GTL's Heritage Plan, its issues ages 40 to 90. So you get that 89-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
You can write them. Benefits amounts 2,500 to 25,000. Yes, no questions. They've got an e-app, which is really solid e-app. GTL is a company that has been around for a long time and doing things like e-apps for a really long time. Their system works really well.
Mm-hmm.
The only knockouts are 24 hours for 24 months if you've received kidney dialysis.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've had kidney dialysis more than 24 months ago, you're okay. 24-hour continuous oxygen, excluding CPAP. So if you do not use oxygen 24 hours a day, which a lot of people who are on oxygen do not need oxygen 24 hours a day.
If you go, no, I don't have oxygen. I'm just kidding. Don't do that.
Yeah, right. But no, but there's a lot of people that only use it, for like
during the day and not,
like, only use it during the day, or they only use it at night. I hear people
right.
tell me all the time they only use it
at
night. Right. Defibrillator put in within the last 24 months, or organ transplant within the last 24 months. More than 24 months, organ transplant. Good to go.
Good to go.
Treatment for Alzheimer's disease within the last 24 months. Again, you meet somebody who's been given Namenda, 3 years ago, and they're not on it anymore. Good to go. And that, again, that happens, right? Like occasionally people get given something for a short period of time and they're not on it anymore. Good to go.
Yep.
Current cancer is a knockout. If your cancer treatment stopped yesterday, good to go. Currently bedridden, hospital care, nursing home care, mental care facility, long-term care facility, hospice care, or been told you have a terminal illness, that's a knockout. Okay. We don't meet a lot of people like that anyway. And then people with AIDS, HIV, and ARC, which is what it is. I'm
Very
waiting
rare.
for a final expense company to stop making that a knockout. The final expense company that stops making that a complete knockout is going to make a mint. But no height weight requirement, no underwriting requirements beyond answering that. You cannot do a POA. You can
Social Security billing.
No Social Security billing, but Wednesday billing.
Okay.
And you have to have a valid Social Security number, but they can be a green card resident as long as they've got a Social Security number.
Okay.
Their app process is really good. You kind of go through, and they've got a voice signature process, which is sort of unique. I've never really experienced anything quite like it. You do the whole e-app, and then you get to the end of the e-app and they pop up a screen. And on that screen, it says, okay, now you need to do the voice verification, which is basically GTL saying, we want to make sure you're not making this person up.
Got it.
Or doing what that guy I talked about did, and just like doing stuff for somebody, right? And so and it says, call in, here's the number, put the client on the phone, and all the client has to do is they have to state their name and their birthday and the last 4 of their social, so it can get connected to the app.
Sure.
And then and then they say, hey, what product are you applying for? What's your agent's name? Did you answer no to all the questions on the application? And then that's it. And then you're done. The whole thing takes maybe 3 minutes.
Is she paid?
I don't. It's going to depend on your agency whether it's paid on issue or if it's paid.
Well, I just mean,
but yeah,
24 to 48 hours turnaround time.
Oh yeah, so I just wrote one for the first time 2 days ago. I have not been paid on it yet, so we'll see what happens.
Typically, if it's the first time you write, typically, sorry to cut you off. Like if it's the first time that the company's paying you, it takes a couple extra days. But after that, it's usually.
So I've had a GTL contract before this because they're a really handy company for Medicare stuff.
Okay.
They've got a nice MedSup product in some states, but their biggest thing is they've got a short-term home health care plan, which kills. They've got like a really just like amazing short-term home health care plan. I won't get into it, but if you sell Medicare, particularly if you sell Medicare Advantage plans, take a look at the GTL short-term home health care plan. It's a rockin' plan. It's a nice way to kind of get kind of almost a GI hospital indemnity plan. Okay. It's a great product. So I've been using them for that for a couple of years, and they're a good, solid company. They work well. Their stuff is good.
Have you had to call the home office a lot? Like
I've called the home office before for Medicare stuff. They're fine. They're not the worst home office that I've ever worked with. They're not the best home office that I've ever worked with, but they're good. They're responsive. They're helpful. Good. I would have no issues doing a lot of business with them, especially with as good as this product is. It's not, the 100+% comp that you get on a, level benefit product.
It's a dang near GI, so it's going to be typical to your.
Yeah,
it's a little bit better than your GI stuff, if I can assume, but.
Yeah, but you get renewals. That's good. It's a good product.
So yeah, GTL. If you don't have it, make sure you get it. And if your IMO doesn't have it, find one that does.
Yeah,
that's it. So go on with that.
It's out there. It's not hard to find.
No, just tell someone you want it, and you'll be able to get it pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Oh, we wanted to do a video. We did one a long time ago, and it was really cool, like door knocking versus setting appointments. And we did a really good one with Chris. It was really good.
Back in the Chris Smith days.
Yeah, hashtag Chris Smith. But I don't think there was enough.
It was one of the first videos we did.
Yeah, that's the thing.
We tried to keep it to under 20 minutes.
Right. And it could have gone way longer.
Well, because we did like 10 minutes of introduction stuff. We did like 10 minutes of kibitzing and saying, hey, how you doing? And that kind of stuff, like we do.
Sure.
And then we ended up with like 10 minutes to actually do door knocking.
I think there's just more oomph. And we've got a couple people in the pipeline that might be good for that. And just so you know, you're going to be going head-to-head against Nicholas on this. He's going to be on the appointment setting side. But if you think that you can handle being on the show and going head-to-head with that, think you can make a case for door knocking only, reach out to us at theinsurancepanel@gmail.com.
If you've been somebody who door knocks instead of setting appointments, and you have been in business for more than 4 years doing it that way,
I can do that.
You could. You want to be the person to do the debate.
I don't. I want somebody else to be.
Yeah, last I heard, you actually approve of appointment setting.
I definitely approve. I said I could because I've been on the other side, and I did it very well. So I could play that devil's advocate. Yeah. But I already know your argument because we've already had the argument, and I don't want to be on the other side of that argument because you make a very good point. But if you're out there, please reach out to us at theinsurancepanel@gmail.com, or just say, hey, I think I'd be good. Reach out to us in the comments and let us know. I'm a door knocker. We'll have a conversation. We'll see if you're the right person for the video.
Yeah. We had a couple of people who we were talking to, and one of them may still end up doing it, but we're having some scheduling issues with a couple of these guys.
Yeah. So. And secondly, people loved the Dusty video.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved it. Great video. Go back and watch it. We're going to be bringing him back on sooner rather than later for the single premium stuff. I think, there are single premium cases that you can write for final expense clients because they definitely have these old CDs and possibilities for that, they're there. We wanted to dig into it then, but Dusty, if you didn't know this, talks quite a bit. And he loves single premium, so he could talk all day.
Yeah.
But he does a large single premium, and I know Nick does more of not that large. I mean,
I write single premiums. I end up writing every year. I kind of end the year with like $150,000 to $200,000 a single premium, which is not. I mean, that's not a ton of single premium. When you think about it, it's like five, six policies.
Not bad.
No,
but they're
Dusty
pretty nice.
Does like $1 million, right?
Yeah. Well, he did 800,000 last year, which is 4 times as much. So it's pretty good. But for those who don't know what single premium is, you want to give the layman's terms. The best way I explain layman's terms, and you may be able to just correct me on this, is it's kind of like a reduced paid up. They're taking the cash. Yeah. They're putting it into one lump sum. And they're saying, based on your health and based on your age, we're able to pay out this much death benefit if you die tomorrow, and you don't have to pay any more premiums.
Yep, that's basically it. Yeah, it's you just make one payment and then you never have to pay again. Life insurance is guaranteed for the rest of your life. It will never go away. If it's a whole life policy, it will build cash value.
Is there a single premium for term?
Universal Life does single premium also.
Okay.
Premium universal life. Single premium universal life gets weird.
Yeah, I was gonna
It's
say
not
that's
very
weird.
common anymore. It's something that you used to see more often. You also sometimes see it in reduced paid up situations. Like it's weird stuff happens with universal life though. Universal life is a thing. Surprise term.
Yeah, surprise term.
So, but single premium is, especially like I have a company that I like a lot, which offers a participating single premium whole life, which is fantastic. So it's actually an increasing death benefit single premium. You pay once, you pay once and you put in $10,000, they give you $15,000 of life insurance, and then that $15,000 of life insurance over the course of 30 years turns into like $35,000 of life insurance. It's awesome.
Yeah. And it's not what I'll try to make sure people understand. It's not that tough of a sale. The hardest part, it's not even the hard part, is you got to find the money.
Yeah. You got to have somebody who has it. But like if anybody who's like, oh, I'm just going to go down to the funeral home and write them a check, and they're like, I've got $10,000. I'll just give the funeral home a check for $10,000. Great. Would you rather keep 3 of those $1,000 and get the same $10,000 funeral? Or would you rather, have your family have an extra $5,000 for that $10,000? It's actually a really easy sale. You give them $10,000, they give you 15. Boom, your $10,000 is now worth 15.
That's it. Ta-da! And that's it. And it's like for those smaller policies, the 5, 10, 15,000.
Yeah,
it's kind of like writing a final expense policy at that point.
Yeah,
when the commission works out. I mean, it's not incredible amounts of money, but once you start getting into the $50,000, $100,000, I mean, the commissions get a little crazy, but
they can. Yeah,
they can. But I mean,
you're talking like between 7 and 15% commission, depending on what you're looking at for a single premium.
Yeah, let's call it 10%.
Yeah.
So you write a $15,000 policy, it's $1,500.
Yeah, not bad.
Not bad, right? It's just like writing a final expense.
No chargebacks.
# no chargebacks. Well, there is. You could get a chargeback, but
theoretically.
But then now we're talking more about single premium, and we can get more into that. I mean, there's technically we can get chargeback 30-day. Blah blah blah.
You
blah,
can.
Blah.
Yeah, but it's unlikely. It's unlikely you'll get
very
chargeback.
Unlikely. But those are things that people, I think, miss out on when they become transactional in a house and they're not focusing on helping the client.
Yeah. Well, and it comes back down to what we talked about before of like, when we've talked about this a lot of like, you got to go in with a plan when you're going into a house. But at the same time, you also have to be a human being when you're going into the house. You have to actually be talking to people and paying attention to them and focusing on the idea of, what are they actually trying to do here?
Sorry to cut you off.
No.
I remember training. Yeah, I remember training with a guy, and I remember, I think it was a husband and wife, and we were placing one policy. So it ended up being from they just wanted to add on a little bit, and we started digging, and I was like, why don't we just put these two together, and you'll get another $4,000 in coverage, and it'll all be right. So it went from a $70 sale down to up to $190 sale. And great. This is the guy's first day. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I see him over on his phone like this. He's taking 190, he's multiplying it by 12, then he's multiplying it by his commission percent. And I slapped that out of his hand. I'm like, write the app, bro. None of this you don't make any of that money unless you write the application.
Right.
Just quit thinking about what you're going to make in the house.
Just start doing what you need to do.
Start doing what you need to do. Help the client, and I promise you'll get paid.
Yeah.
Stop focusing on you. Focus on the person in front of you, and it all works. But
yeah. Don't worry about commissions. Commissions take care of themselves.
Yeah, but if you find yourself writing an app that you're getting, you think you got a good comp on, and because it's a 79-year-old female or whatever, and it ends up being 13%, then maybe look at a different product. But that's neither here nor there. But just focus on making sure the client is taken care of. That's rule number 1.
Yeah, always.
In insurance. When most cases and most things, golden rule is take care of other people, and you're going to be just fine, right?
Yeah.
What else you got, Nick?
I got nothing else.
Cool.
You know, I'm ready to
go
back to
field.
business.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
I'm ready to go back to business as normal.
I'm an extrovert. I like seeing clients. I like seeing agents. I like seeing carriers and carrier reps. I mean, I like going out, and I'm sure y'all are tired of this background. I mean, this is the worst, right?
Yeah.
I didn't spruce it up any. It's the same picture. You can see all these pictures over here. I mean, I'm ready to get out the house, man.
I'd like to move my office back down to my office. Like, I'm tired of working out of my guest room just because that's where I can do telesales from. So
wait, you can't. Maybe you've already said this.
Yeah, no. So my office doesn't have a door.
Ah.
So we converted when we moved into our new house last year. We converted a room that was originally intended to be like a sitting room into my office.
Kind of like a sunroom.
Sorta, yeah. And so but it's a room that we would never use for anything else. It was like a dead space room. So we turned it into my office, and it's great, but it doesn't have a door, which for the most part doesn't matter to me because I'm not doing things that make noise.
You're usually scrubbing an application or fixing stuff. Yeah.
And then if my dogs are around or if my kids are around or whatever, it doesn't matter.
Wow.
But if I'm doing telesales and I need things to be quiet, I need to be in a place that's got a door where I can kind of keep the dog away and not barking. And so this is why the background has been like this since we've been doing this, is because this is my guest room.
I think it's great. I think things will be going back to normal soon-ish. Has to be within the next 30 days.
Within the next 30 days, yeah, I think. I am hoping 2 weeks. I am kind of expecting not until June. But
the contest winners. Do we ever?
We did do the contest winners.
Okay. Did they ever reach out to us?
I believe they have all reached out. At least 2 of them posted in the other video, and I think the third one sent an email.
So, counts.
Yeah, I figured it counts.
Congratulations. For
no runners up. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, no runners up, but I need to do a crash course with 2 of those people on Facebook leads. So, guys, again, I will say this every time you get on this video. Learn how to make your own Facebook leads.
Yeah. Good stuff.
I was talking to a guy, and he was like, why don't I just pay someone to do it? Like, it'll take me, like, should I focus more on that? Like, it'll save me time. I'm like, it'll take you time in the front end, but after that, it's not tough. It's 10 minutes every once in a while to get it.
And once you start doing it, you can start doing cool stuff. Like I'm actually working on building a landing page right now and some funnels and stuff because I can, and I'm just thinking of other things to do that don't involve me calling people. So
I want to know how that works out, by the way, the one we were talking about, but that'd be cool.
We'll see how it works out. I'm working on it right now, so we'll see.
Yeah, but guys, it's been fun as always. This will go up hopefully tomorrow, which is Friday. We'll enjoy it. We're going to have, I think after COVID-19, we're going to go more on to a 1 video a week. We did everything we could to do 2 videos per week during COVID-19. I think we've done a really great job. But once things go back to normal,
back down to 1 a week.
1 a week. So enjoy it while it lasts. Who knows how long it'll last? Hopefully not long. Yeah, but while we're here, enjoy it, guys. Please, if you have any questions, reach out to us at theinsurancepanel@gmail.com. Like the video down below. Put in some comments. Let us know what's going on in your guys' world.
Are you guys back in the field yet? Let us know if you're back.
Yeah, who's working? I know Texas opened up, South Carolina, Georgia's opened up, North Carolina's, whatever. I mean, just let us know what's going on in your world. We want to know. We're interested. So, guys, thanks again. Y'all be great.
Later.